Good morning. Welcome back to Marty's Tying Bench. This nice spring day, I'm tying a JR's Flashback Baetis. This little blue wing olive pattern. I'm tying it in a size 18. It's on a Mustad 3906 hook. It's an extra heavy hook, and these are destined for some bigger fish, so I thought I'd use a stout hook for this one. I've got Danville's 6/0 Flymaster. You can use any gray thread. The abdomen is a thread body, so I like something that will lay flat, and Danville's does a good job in this size. The tail is pheasant tail, and you're going to want to be kind of selective about which tails you use and which parts of the tail you use, because you want something that's got nice straight tips and a little bit of stiffness to them. So the stuff down at the very base of the pheasant tail is going to be a little bit too fluffy. Anyway, I'm going to set this up for your standard Baetis proportions. Ultimately, you're going to want the tail to be about a third, the abdomen to be about a third, and the thorax to be about a third. And with this 11/0 silver line glass bead, you got to kind of take that into account too. So, silver wire for ribbing. You can use small or extra small, kind of adjust it to the size fly you're tying. Now I'm going to spin this thread flat because I'm going to do a little bit of shaping, create a little bit of taper, and come back relatively quickly. Spin it flat and come forward and slow down as you get towards the end, and it'll get just a tiny bit of taper, and that's all you need. About 3 or 4 turns of silver wire. Now back to the pheasant tail. We're going to tie our legs out of this. And when you get those out on the end, they're going to be pretty kind of fine, so you'll need a fair amount of them. And do the best you can to get your tips evened up before you peel it off the pheasant. Now I'm going to lay this right on top, not tie very tightly for a couple of turns, and then I'm going to pull on it until it's the length I want. Then I can tighten up a little bit, and this stuff will fan out, kind of like a comparadon. Bring the thread to the back. Now I could just pop this off, but I don't want to pull any of those legs short, so I'll trim it. But before I do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push those back, compare them against the length of the body, and make sure they don't extend past it, so I know I've got a good length for the legs. And now I'm going to tie in some flashback. This happens to be the uni mylar tinsel in medium. You might have a Flashaboo or a lateral scale that's about the right width. I could have tied that in first and then tied in the legs, but then this curled flash always gets in the way, so I decided to do it in the reverse order and tie the legs in first. Now, a little bit of superfine Adam's gray. It's just a tiny bit darker than the thread, and will give you just a little bit of contrast. I'm going to be kind of careful to keep the dubbing from trapping any of the legs. And then when I get to the front, I will have created a thorax that's just a little bit bigger around than the abdomen. Now from the top, I'm just going to take my thumbnail and kind of push those. And I can't get the camera to give you the view I'm getting, but I'm looking at it from right above until I've got about the same number of legs on each side. And then I'll separate it with the flash. Now this turn of thread here, make sure you stay in front of all of the legs. Get it in position. Then a little bit tighter, and that will gradually bundle them. The flash will keep them out towards the sides. And we're almost done. Now I don't trust a small whip knot here because it's tied on fur and dubbing and stuff, so I'm going to use a little bit of head cement. And I've been using water-based head cement. Just get a little bit of it on the thread. There we go. We've got a nice Flashback Baetis here tied with pretty common materials. No fancy stuff in there, just good technique. So there you go. JR's Flashback Baetis.